Our cleanup hitter today in Illinois, 25-year Air Force stud, the good Colonel. Scott, you're up.
I appreciate that, Scott. Steve and Mark, thank you again. This is one of the most authentic conversations that I've had on a Tuesday morning in a long time, and I loved hearing all the questions and that. Steve, I gotta say you're one of my fans too, because you're a huge Gary Vee fan. I've been following Gary Vee since the early days of Wine Library TV, and had the pleasure of visiting VaynerMedia a few years ago and hanging out with Claude. I mean, I think they do it right in the social media space, and they do it for the right reasons. And I have found, even in my Air Force career, or working with some great leaders and senior leaders, but it's funny that I've often been told, I've been told by these leaders, I'm putting myself at all this risk by using social media too much. And I just laugh because I want to say to them, adapt or die, and it just drives me crazy that I don't see leaders who can ensure that their offline life matches their online life, still remain authentic, and filling these gaps and opportunities that they have to communicate with young men and women or their teams or organizations. And my question to you would be, how would you coach a senior leader who doesn't seem, they don't see the opportunities, they seem hesitant to use it, or they might not come off as authentic online as they do offline? Like, what kinds of things would you offer them if you could nudge them a little bit?
You might have just lobbed up the biggest softball of all time.
You play volleyball?
Swing
Marc,
for the
you wanna
fences,
go?
boys.
No, go ahead.
Hey.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
For me, the reality is the number one skill that leaders should have is self-awareness, which is, how am I showing up to my family, to my friends, to my employees, to my vendors? And I think people really miss that. And we coach leaders to ask the question, how am I showing up in your life? If you're willing to listen to the answer, right, that's where real growth comes from, and it opens the door to all the opportunity to learn. But if you ask people, hey, what kind of leader are you? And they say something and they're off in the weeds, there's nothing that's going to get to them. So for me, my recommendation would be to focus on self-awareness. Mark?
Yeah, right in line with that. I mean, usually when I work with somebody who's,
Wait.
I can tell.
I'm right?
No, just right along in the same lines. I ask them the question of, what's the most important aspect to you leading the group, or what allows you the opportunity, which they should reply relationship. And if they don't, then that offers me the first point of coaching. And then if they say relationship, I ask them, I say, well, how do you consistently feed that relationship with your people? And that's usually a hard question for them to answer, because they're probably not doing enough one-on-ones. So they're not spending the time there. They're not communicating with their team daily, or they're not getting enough FaceTime. So when they struggle with the answer to that question, it opens up the opportunity to lead them to, well, are you interested in finding other ways to get to them? Because
the big stigma is LinkedIn is a business platform, not a personal platform. Well, if you work in a company around other people, you wish them a happy birthday, you wish them a happy anniversary, you talk about what's happening in their lives, or you should. Why would that be different in a business platform like LinkedIn? Marc posted something and he's just nuts. His wife just gave birth at 9 months ago. His wife is breastfeeding. He posted something about cleaning the bottles, or even better, before that, he posted about paternity leave. Now, when he came to me, I like, what's paternity leave, man? I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, I'm going to be taking 3 weeks off with my wife. I go, 3 weeks, dude? Your mother had her C-section. I went to work the next day. He posted about it. And what happened when you posted?
Yeah, a ton of interaction and a ton of engagement. And, I think it always goes back to people want to learn, they want information, but they want to learn from people they know. They want to have a relationship with you. And so how does your social media present opportunities for people to know you? And then you earn the right to be able to lead them.
Yeah, I think there's just fear that they're going to say something wrong when they really should just say it and reap the benefits potentially of the dialogue.
Well, that's, I think that the misnomer with social media is that it's about everybody liking you, right? And that's not reality. The reality is that you're using social media to find more people that like you and move further away from the people that don't like you. And so you're being offered an opportunity to get exposure to massive amounts of people, accepting the reality that the majority of them probably won't like you, but you will find more people that you have stuff in common with than if you don't.
Great. Thank you both.
Absolute gold. Absolute.